What's going on, you guys? So we are back out in the garage getting ready to start working on the cage for this car again. One thing I needed to do that I mentioned in the last video is I need to build new base plates for the A-pillar bars down there because the ones I have aren't wide enough. Unfortunately, my bandsaw took a shit, so I'm gonna go pick up a new bandsaw and then we're gonna jump into it. All right, we got a new portaband. So that's all set up, tested, works good. Now I need to start cutting new cage base plates. I got the old ones kind of cut out the car. I need to extend them about 1.5 inches. So basically, I'm just gonna trace these over and go ahead and add 1.5 inches to this dimension here. Basically from here to the outside needs to be 4 inches. Other than that, all the dimensions are gonna be the same. So I'm gonna go ahead, trace them, cut them, start welding them together, and make a little time-lapse video. So let's get started. All right, all the parts for our new base plates are all cut out here, as you can see. Now, what we gotta do is go ahead and tack them all together. Once they're all tacked together, tack them together first. We're gonna test fit them, make sure everything lines up like it should, because if we final weld it and it doesn't line up, it would probably be faster just to cut new ones than it will be to cut them apart. So we're gonna tack them all together, test fit them in the car, see if we need to make any changes, anything like that. And then if they're all good, weld them together. Okay, we have our plates all tacked together now. I'm gonna go ahead, make sure they fit. I actually test fit them already, but I'll show you guys. So right where the old ones went, right there, it's right where that one's gonna go, just like that. So fits good, no major gaps. Time to go ahead, weld them all up. All right, well, our base plates are completely welded together. That one's still a little hot, but see how they fit. Check that out. Oh. Perfect. That will work much, much better than the ones we had before. Ooh. Okay, that'll clear. Kind of had a slight panic moment there. It didn't look like the intercooler pipes were going to fit again, but looks like there's actually plenty of room there, so lucked out on that. Should have measured that first. Now, a couple of things to cover with this real quick. Why build base plates like this to weld onto the chassis instead of just doing a flat piece of, instead of doing just like a flat piece of steel on the floor like most people do? Well, the benefit of a plate like this is you're getting multiple planes on like a chassis rail. You're not just welding it to the sheet metal on the floor. You have multiple spots here that are going to be welded onto the chassis through structural rails and stuff like that. These are actually going to be welded solely onto the structural rail, not to any sheet metal on the floor at all. Another big benefit to a plate like this is once your cage is done, tube's going to be like right around here. Let me see, do I have a piece of tube anywhere over here? So this is welded onto the chassis like so. So here's like our frame rail area right here. Now our tube is going to come down and get welded onto this. Now our floor is actually about an inch lower than the bottom of this even. So we build our cage, we have this kind of tacked on here to start with. Once that's all, you know, the cage and everything is all built, we're going to go ahead and put like 4 or 5 tacks on each tube to get everything like nice and secure, make sure it's not going to pull or warp. Once that's all done, we're going to cut the 2 tacks off this base plate, and then we'll have probably like a tack around here and maybe a tack right here or something holding this base plate in place to the chassis. Once the cage is done, we cut those 2 tacks and then pop these base plates out, and then what that lets us do is lower the cage down. So now we're able to lower this cage down roughly 4 inches from where it was before. And you know, we have plates like that in the back too on the main hoop, so the main hoop will be able to drop down. It's going to drop a little bit further on the front, so the front will actually lean down even more, and that'll let us get to the top of the tubes to weld everything. And that is primarily the point of doing boxes like this. So if anybody was wondering why we do them, hopefully that helps. You know, obviously the way I made these ones was just using my old smaller templates here that I had, the old smaller base plates, and just kind of extended them out. But it's simple enough to do with construction paper, cardboard, anything like that, to come up with a nice rough template of how to make them, transfer it onto steel, cut it, weld it up. Simple as that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. We got the new base plates done, so now the next thing we're going to do is move on to the A-pillar bars, and we're going to get that in the next video. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the build along, and until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.